Hello there, friends. So today we're going to be doing the most common seat repair in a work truck. Miss Nibbles, the Wonder Dog here, is going to be helping me out, huh, Miss Nibbles? So all truck seats are different. I'm not going to show you how to take this seat apart because your truck may be different. So it wouldn't be fair to you, would it? So I'm just going to start disassembling. There we go. That's all there is to it. For this truck, anyway. The same as always, I always start with marking intersections here. See this intersection right there, just like that. Everywhere the fabric intersects with something, or the seam right there, the edge of the pattern, or the seam. Like right here, the French stitch stops right there. And even that vinyl piece ends right there. And I'll just throw one across there and there, so that way I know where all the pieces go back together when it's time to sew it up. That way there's no guessing. For those of you that follow my channel, you know who Lucille is. Lucille the box cutter. Well, Lucille has passed on, sorry to say. But this is Jeffrey. This is Jeffrey the box cutter. So we're going to go ahead and prepare him for a new service, just like this. Okay, so what we're doing here with Jeffrey the box cutter is we're popping threads. Okay, we're not cutting fabric. So we're just going to cut out this panel right here. You don't want to cut into this material here because this is what we're saving. Okay, this is what we're replacing. So if you cut into this one here, it doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and just continue to cut this one out. So the purpose of this serrated edge here is to pop the threads. Okay, we don't want to cut the material with a sharp razor. So this actually makes it dull to the material, to the fabric, but it's lethal to the thread. Technique number 88. So technique number 88 is pulling the patterns apart while the seat cover is still on the seat. Reason being is because the seat right here, seat cushion, is your third hand. So if you took the seat cover off first, you're trying to wrestle it with two hands because it's flopping around all over the place like this. It's kind of like flopping around like this. So say you're trying to take something apart like this, and you know what, you don't have that third hand holding it right there, right? So you're going to be struggling trying to get something apart there, where when it's still on the seat is your third hand. Look at that. Ain't that nice? There we go. Just like that. Let's go ahead and finish it off. Finish it off. It's got an old French seam here. So I'm just going to cut right on that French seam. There we go. We got a top. Now we got the top. Got the side. Apparently the new thing for work trucks here in Texas anyway is, if it was a fabric seat before, they want to replace these in vinyl. So supposedly the vinyl is going to last longer. So you know what? They're paying the bill. So we are going to give them what they want, aren't we? Every time. Okay, we're going to put our marks in there. Remember we did that earlier, so don't want to forget those. So there's that pattern. And this one here, okay, there's a big chunk missing out of that. So, you know, it's not going to be 100% accurate pattern, but are they ever? So what we're going to do is we're just going to shape it to where it basically used to be, which is about right there. And we'll go ahead and mark that one out. Just like that. I know there's going to be people that watch YouTube all the time watching me make these patterns on vinyl that's wrinkled and all, because it's not, I'm probably going to get criticized because it's not brand new vinyl in a roll. But you know, this is the real world. This is not fantasy YouTube land. So I sometimes end up with extra vinyls or extra materials. I roll them up and put them in a box, and then when I pull them out, they're a little bit wrinkled. But you know what? That all comes out later on. So don't worry yourself. Not rocket science. There we go. You know what? This is going to be rolled up like that, and it's going to go back into my vinyl box, and it'll be available for another day for another customer. Next thing we can do is we can actually take the heat gun to the vinyl and smooth out some of those wrinkles. It's not entirely necessary, but if it will make some of you feel better, I'm willing to do it. So that way I don't get nasty comments. So look at that, they just come right out. The hotter you get it, the better it looks until it starts to melt. See the difference? If you're worried about what a heat gun will do to vinyl, you can always watch my video on how not to burn your vinyl with a heat gun. Just go to my channel and maybe you'll see another video that interests you more, and then you'll watch that one first. And then maybe you'll go back and find the video about not burning your vinyl. And then maybe you'll see that one, or maybe you'll see another video that interests you more. So you'll watch that one first. And when you're done with that one, then you can go back and look for the video that's do not burn your vinyl with a heat gun. Next, backing the vinyl with foam. This is called scrim. So if you don't know, scrim has this fabric backing on there. And that's what holds the thread when you're sewing it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and sew out the pattern there where you see the white line. That's where we're going to sew. Now technique number 82 is when you're trimming these out, what you want to do is you want to cut right next to the thread without actually cutting the thread. If you cut the thread, that's a little bad. It's not big bad, just a little bad. There we go. We got two brand new patterns. Uh-huh. 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 Now we're going to go ahead and sew up a French seam right here. I'm going to duplicate what was original. Some guys are lucky enough to have a double needle sewing machine to sew a French stitch, but I've never had that. So for my 43 years, I just do it manually, the old school way. Takes a little more skill, I suppose, to do it that way. It's okay, I don't mind so much. I guess I haven't known any other way to do it, so I just do it this way. This is the way I do it. Do the other side, same way. I think now is a good chance to put the seat hook from the old piece here to the new piece. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jeffrey, the box cutter. We're going to get rid of that, pop that thread there. Okay, so before I know that, well, this is kind of cheating, there's double here, but most of the time it's just a single C shape there. So usually what you do is, I call it face to face, where you put the face of the material to the face of the hook, the seat hook. So I'm going to do the same, the face of the material here to the face of the seat hook. So now we're going to go ahead and put the new with the old. Remember our white marks here? They're also marked here and here. That's what it shows right there. We'll match those up. Matter of fact, it's always a good idea to mark the back side also. See that right there where I just marked it? To match those lines right there. So one way to match French seams. So now for technique number 74. So what technique number 74 is this French seam right here is one of the most important places on the seat cover that you want to match. and make sure that you get it right. So as you know, the lower the number, the technique number, the more important it is. So you guys are really lucky today, getting all these low numbers. So anyway, what we will be doing is we will be taking the edge of that French seam right there, and that's where we're actually going to start sewing first. The seam right here to this white mark. So we'll start there first. So that's our white mark right there. This is our French seam right here. We'll match those two. And that's where we're going to start sewing. Right on top. Just like that. We'll go this direction first. Flip it over. So that's where the French seam is, right there. So we're going to go ahead and start opposite direction. Right there. And start sewing the other direction. Now that way we end up with that. Remember our white mark and our French seam right there. I just want to show you the seat repair that Miss Nibbles, the Wonder Dog, did. Well, this would be the end.